In July 2020, while the world was shutting down and baseball's future looked uncertain, the Los Angeles Dodgers made the biggest bet in sports history. They handed Mookie Betts a check for $365 million. That's more money than some country's entire GDP. But here's the thing, this wasn't just about one player. This was a gamble that would either save baseball or become the most expensive mistake in sports history. I'm here to tell you the untold story of how one contract changed everything. It goes much deeper. This deal was made during a pandemic when nobody knew if baseball would even survive. It was a statement that said, "We believe in this game's future," when everyone else was running scared. Today I'm going to break down exactly why this wasn't just a contract. It was the most calculated risk in baseball history. We'll explore how the Red Sox made one of the worst trades ever, while the Dodgers were willing to bet the farm, and whether this $365 million gamble actually paid off. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this deal didn't just change Mookie's life, it changed the entire landscape of Major League Baseball. Let's start with where this story really begins. Boston. Mookie Betts wasn't just any player for the Red Sox. This was a guy who helped bring them a World Series championship in 2018. He was hitting .300, stealing bases, playing Gold Glove defense, and doing it all with a smile that made him the face of the franchise. But here's where it gets interesting. The Red Sox ownership, led by John Henry, had a problem. They were approaching baseball's luxury tax threshold, and they were scared. Scared of paying penalties, scared of long-term commitments, scared of what a massive contract might do to their payroll flexibility. So, they made a decision that still haunts Boston fans today. Instead of paying their homegrown superstar, they traded him to the Dodgers in February 2020, along with David Price, essentially giving away one of the best players in baseball to save money. The trade sent shockwaves through Red Sox Nation. Fans were furious. Season ticket holders demanded refunds. This wasn't just any player. This was Mookie Betts, a once-in-a-generation talent who embodies everything Boston fans loved about their team. Now, let's talk about the Dodgers side of this equation. When they acquired Mookie, they knew they had 1 year to convince him to stay. He was set to become a free agent after the 2020 season, and every team in baseball would be calling. But the Dodgers had something other teams didn't: a plan. They had been building towards this moment for years. They had the payroll flexibility, the organizational depth, and most importantly, the championship culture that a player like Mookie craved. Then COVID-19 hit. The 2020 season was shortened to just 60 games. Revenue was plummeting. Teams were cutting payroll left and right. Most organizations were in survival mode, not spending mode. But not the Dodgers. While everyone else was panicking, they saw opportunity. On July 22, 2020, the Dodgers made their move. 12 years, $365 million. At the time, it was the largest contract in baseball history by total value. But here's what made it even more remarkable. They signed it during a pandemic when nobody knew what baseball's future looked like. Think about the context here. Stadiums were empty. TV ratings were uncertain. The entire sports industry was hemorrhaging money. And the Dodgers decided this was the perfect time to make the biggest financial commitment in their franchise's history. The contract breakdown was staggering. $365 million over 12 years, with deferred money that would keep paying Mookie well into the 2040s. It included a $65 million signing bonus and various performance incentives that could push the total value even higher. But this wasn't just about the money. This was about making a statement. The Dodgers were telling the baseball world, we're not just surviving this pandemic, we're thriving through it. The gamble paid off immediately. In that shortened 2020 season, Mookie helped lead the Dodgers to their first World Series championship since 1988. 32 years of heartbreak ended with the help of a player they'd acquired just months earlier. Mookie's performance in the playoffs was everything the Dodgers had hoped for. He hit clutch home runs, made spectacular defensive plays, and provided the veteran leadership that championship teams need. When they finally won it all, beating the Tampa Bay Rays in 6 games, Mookie was right there in the middle of the celebration. The championship alone made the contract worth it for many Dodgers fans. After decades of playoff disappointments, they finally had their title, and Mookie Betts was a huge reason why. But the real genius of this deal goes beyond just 2020. The Dodgers locked up Mookie through his age 39 season, covering what should be the prime years of his career. They secured one of baseball's most marketable stars during a time when the sport desperately needed star power. The contract also set a new precedent for how teams approach superstar players. It showed that even during uncertain times, investing in elite talent can pay dividends both on and off the field. From a business perspective, the deal has been a goldmine. Mookie's jersey sales skyrocketed. Season ticket renewals increased. The Dodgers became must-see TV, not just in Los Angeles, but nationally. The $365 million investment was generating returns in ways that went far beyond wins and losses. Meanwhile, back in Boston, the trade looked worse with each passing day. The Red Sox used the money they saved by trading Mookie to, well, not much of anything productive. They signed some mediocre free agents, watched their team struggle, and had to endure constant reminders of what they had given up. Boston fans didn't just lose a great player, they lost a piece of their team's identity. Mookie represented everything the Red Sox claimed to value: homegrown talent, clutch performance, and genuine connection with the fan base. Trading him away felt like a betrayal of those values. The financial savings the Red Sox thought they'd gain, they ended up spending similar money on lesser players anyway. They could have kept Mookie and still maintained payroll flexibility, but instead they chose the safe route and lost a generational talent. So here's the ultimate question: was the $365 million gamble worth it? From a pure baseball standpoint, absolutely. Mookie has continued to perform at an elite level, providing gold glove defense, consistent offense, and veteran leadership. He's been everything the Dodgers hoped for and more. From a business perspective, it's been even better. The Dodgers have seen increased revenue, higher attendance, and national relevance that extends far beyond Los Angeles. The contract has paid for itself multiple times over. But perhaps most importantly, the deal represented something bigger than baseball. In a time when sports were struggling to find their footing, the Dodgers made a bold statement about the future. They bet on baseball when others were betting against it, and that confidence helped stabilize the entire industry. The $365 million gamble on Mookie Betts wasn't just about one player or one contract. It was about vision, courage, and the willingness to invest in greatness when everyone else was playing it safe. The Dodgers didn't just get a great player. They got a championship, a franchise cornerstone, and a symbol of their commitment to winning. Meanwhile, the Red Sox learned a painful lesson about the cost of being penny wise and pound foolish. In the end, this wasn't really a gamble at all. It was a calculated investment in one of baseball's best players, made by an organization that understood the true value of elite talent. And 4 years later, it's clear that the Dodgers made the right call. Sometimes the biggest risk is not taking any risk at all. The Red Sox played it safe and lost a legend. The Dodgers bet big and won everything. The Mookie Betts contract changed how we think about player value in the modern era, but it's not the only deal that reshaped baseball.